Welcome to My Words Are My Voice, the unspoken words from non-speaking or minimally speaking individuals within the autism community. My name is Rich. I'm just a dad and happen to have a New York accent. The words you'll be listening to come from writings from smart, intelligent, and insightful individuals who point one letter at a time on a letterboard, a stencil board, a keyboard, iPad, or any other type of electronic device. And these individuals who have this ability to communicate, simply put, need to be respected and recognized for who they truly are, smart and intelligent. And we need to honor that. And when we do, this world becomes a far better place. Welcome back, all. This episode is about providing a better understanding and perspective from two non-speaking autistic individuals regarding the educational support they've received specific to communicating on the letterboard. For the regular followers of this podcast, you've heard the intelligence behind the writings from many of these individuals. The reality is this methodology, for the most part, has yet to be accepted or embraced within our school system across the United States. For the next 8 minutes, take a listen to what these two individuals have to say, but a quick fact. It took decades for Braille, the method that allows blind people to read and write independently, to be adopted in the United States. Onto our writings. This first writing, I need to change the names of all who were involved in an IEP meeting that took place back in 2016 at a school in Long Island, New York. IEP stands for Individual Education Plan. This plan lays out a program of special education instruction, so it's really a roadmap. It sets forth supports and related services that the child needs to make progress and thrive in school. Our writer's name is Denny and his communication partner is Lane. Denny at this point in time is 20 years old and has 1 year left in his formal education with New York State. He requested Lane, his communication partner, attend the meeting so that as to show the staff his communication ability on the letterboard. So Lane explained to the staff in detail the methodology behind RPM, Rapid Prompting Method, then proceeded to work with Denny, one lesson on abstract art and one on physics. His mom documents the meeting as follows once the lessons were completed, and Denny's teacher states, "I'd like to ask a question. I know you have difficulty with some of the really loud students in our class, so I've tried to seat you far away from them. Do you like where I put you?" At which point, Denny responds, "This is for RPM questions." The speech therapist then asks, "I've been using a keyboard with you sometimes, but would you rather I use the letterboard?" Denny responds, "You don't know how to use the letterboard, so no." And the speech therapist comes back with, "Well, what can I do to help you?" Denny responds, "Learn RPM, please." So Lane at this point has a brief discussion with the staff about RPM and the prompts. The speech therapist responds, "I'm also a licensed prompt therapist, a type of speech therapy, so I've been working with him on vocational and phonics. There are certain words we use to improve those things, and I have some books that use those words, but they're short. Simple books like you'd use with babies." Is it okay that we read those kids' books? Denny responds, no, I hate those books. I would rather focus on the issues of not attending classes with smart kids. I'm so confused. I just told you the father of Cubism was Picasso. And you are discussing sounds and where I sit in class. The teacher then says, I'm sorry, but I know you have a lot of frustration, so I'm trying my best to help you. Denny says, thank you, but clearly I'm frustrated because I'm in a class designed for idiots. The teacher then responds, I will try to do whatever I can, but not sure what kind of lesson you are looking for. Denny responds, you are so kind. I want to learn everything that someone my age learns. Please try to learn RPM. Lane did it without training, so you can too. At this point, Lane and the staff have another brief discussion about RPM and the training. Denny responds, it's so much harder than it looks. So it's not that I don't want to talk, it's that I'm not getting the right prompts. The speech therapist then says, well, what about the iPad? We have a communication program for you that will tell us what you want. Denny responds, I despise those pictures. The speech therapist says, you're being really stubborn. Denny says, no, I'm not. I eat a lot of pride every day in the form of not being seen for who I really am. I won't be happy until RPM is accepted for all. So folks, that was Denny's experience, and I would like to thank his parents for allowing us to share this. It is rather mind-boggling that RPM is still not accepted in our schools. It was the woman Soma who introduced this form of communication back in 2001. So here we are 2 decades later, and nothing. Next up, and welcome back, is TJ. He works with his team at Reach Every Voice in Maryland. His communication partner is Lisa, the founder of Reach Every Voice, and based on what he is currently experiencing at a school in Maryland, he taps out the following. The idea that I am a loud voice with unpopular opinions is hard to digest when you are part of a system that won't allow me to access my preferred communication. For the first time in my life, I know when I ask to share something, folks all around the world might read it and learn from my words. What a feeling of empowerment to be past the mic. I always believed the limitations my school put on me. They were the experts. I didn't know to question their judgment. As I sat in classes with simple topics, I assumed it was what I could handle, making things that seemed complex forbidden. Loud voices and simple sentences, those were the language everyone decided I understood. But they were wrong. I didn't think to question them, but my mom did. She believed I was smart, and they didn't know how to teach me. Do you all know what it's like to listen to your mom fight a school system for years, telling them you are smart? And can you imagine actually thinking she is the crazy one because you have completely lost all faith in your own abilities? Self-doubt is a monster. I didn't have any for years. That's how completely convinced I was of my own limitations. Then all that changed. Learning that other people like me, other people who also talked, but said lots of nothing. Now found ways to control their little fingers to slow down and point one letter at a time to spell huge thoughts. This made me doubt my ingrained belief in my own ability. Suddenly, I doubted everything. What if I didn't require simplified learning? What if I didn't need picture schedules? What if I didn't actually need a 4-page plan to analyze my every stim? What if they're wrong about me? What if they're wrong about all the kids in my class? This story has no happy ending. My school sitch is an ever-loving, hot mess. But there is a moral to my story. Teachers may be overworked and underpaid, but they wield enormous influence in how their students view themselves. We all rise or fall to the expectations of our teachers. How high do you set the bar in your classroom? Thanks, TJ, for once again sharing your insightful thoughts on your current situation. And while I do agree that your story may not have a happy ending, I am trusting that the powers to be begin to listen to more writings like yours and many other non-speaking or minimally speaking autistic individuals. Keep on writing, TJ, and keep believing in your abilities. Thanks again. In closing, the U.S. government in 2002 enacted a law, No Child Left Behind, which was later replaced in 2015 by Every Student Succeeds Act. So I ask you, how are we doing? That's it. Till next time. Bye bye.